I found something in the store.
Okay. What did you find?
The place. I found a place.
Hello?
आपको खुशामदीद कहते हैं।
Anyone there?
Look, I know how this sounds, but you gotta understand, it's massive in there.
I'm not saying I don't believe you.
Okay, I'm gonna come back
Aloha.
here with
This is Trinidad the Islandman, your Islandman, coming to you live once again from beautiful Hawaii here on the island of Oahu, bringing you, yes you, the best movie reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And yes, this is Trinidad the Islandman, your Islandman. And, sorry I'm late to the party. I went in and I saw this movie Monday, and I, like many people, had to collect my thoughts about it. But more than that, it really didn't interest me all that much. And so I struggled if I wanted to make a review. But there's been so much talk and so much hype about this movie. I'm talking about Backrooms, this horror movie that came from this YouTube guy. That's got every other reviewer talking about, is this the change for Hollywood? Is this the game changer? Is this what people want? Beating out Star Wars in its second or third week. I think the third week. Coming in at 81 million, the number1 box office. Is this what people want now? Is this kind of this type of content from YouTubers who have a built-in fan base already, bringing in people, outside of known older IPs. Some people speculate that, this may even block out He-Man and the Masters of the Universe movie starting up today. All right, but I digress. Remember our rating scale, Shaka thumbs up. It's good to see, I recommend it. Shaka thumbs down is junk. I don't recommend it. And for Backrooms, the spooky movie by some YouTuber about... basically, it's about like an alternate reality, another dimension, an added on dimension to our own. You pass through an area in your house, in another property, and next thing you know, you're in this strange facsimile of where you were. Think of it very much as the Upside Down from Stranger Things. It looks familiar, but it's not quite what it was. So there you have it. And sometimes there's creatures in there. Sometimes there's other people floating around, whatnot, have you. But essentially, in this movie, this man who owns a furniture store discovers that there is a area in his store that very much seems to go on forever. And he passes through what would seem to be a solid wall. However, he passes through it, and it looks very much like his store, but slightly different. He describes it as if a person had been asked to describe what a dog looks like, having never seen a dog, and then you try to think about what it could be. And, essentially, that's basically what you get out of this movie. Outside of that, So, you know, it isn't like an alternate reality, alternate dimension that very much resembles our own, but very much like the Upside Down, really, honestly, doesn't. Has major differences. And in addition to that, strange creatures that may or may not be benevolent or malevolent to you. In this case, very much malevolent. So I give it overall Shaka thumbs down. It's really not worth it. I mean, I had never seen any of this stuff. Apparently it's come from a lot of stuff back during the pandemic about you know, taken from a picture that looked kind of off and off-putting. And it just looked strange. And people's imaginations pretty much ran wild with this. And as such, you know, I think people's imagination was much better than what this movie turned out to be, despite the Hollywood budget that supported it, oddly enough, which is where many other movies fail with the budget. Yet with this high budget, you know, you do get some stars like Ejiofor, which is, he's an amazing actor. He's good in everything. He's good in this movie, even though he's an unlikable character, playing a divorced man, you know, struggling with a business that's going under, his furniture store, from rivals, you know, a wife who's left him, a drinking problem, you know, and pretty much going nowhere with his life until he finds this alternate dimension in his store. And thus, he decides to explore it and hopelessly gets lost in there. But, you know, I mean, being a former, having studied architecture, he kind of, you know, he's able to map out the areas fairly well. So what he gets lost into is his own mind, essentially, and his own problems. Think of it very much as the Star Wars cave in Empire Strikes Back. You know, where Yoda said, you know, Luke asked Yoda, what's in that cave before you go in there? And Yoda says, only what you carry with you. So basically, it's the trauma of his life and his experiences is what he has to face in there. And those, like normal reality, become misshapen and deformed and essentially come after and get him in this movie, along with his therapist that he seems to coax into there as well. And she falls victim to this trauma as well. Well, she escapes his trauma, but eventually her own trauma gets to her and, you know, ends up entrapping her there as well. I'm not exactly sure. That's kind of how it ends. Kind of not, I guess. But again, a Shaka thumbs down. I feel this movie should have been much better. The creatures, you know, I was intrigued by the endless area of it. And at first it starts off, it is very intriguing, very interesting as he starts to explore this. And you feel that there's something there, something watching him. But when it's brought out to the light and you see what is there and what it is, it's honestly quite laughable. And thus, you know, you don't really care too much about it. I suspect that this weekend it will have a major drop box office wise, as people who have seen it have already seen it. Word of mouth is there, and probably like what I'm saying is that it's like all hype, you know, just to check out this movie and see what it's about. After they hear what it's about, they'll say, oh, you know, this is a streaming kind of movie only. You know, we can see why it was just on YouTube, where it got all the imagination and acclaim. And it probably should just stay there. It'll go great on streaming, But other than that, I wouldn't waste your money on it, despite it being the #1 at the box office. I think it was just more of curiosity, and I don't think He-Man has anything to worry about. Again, a significant drop probably in the box office for the second week of Backrooms, as there's really nothing much there, despite a great actor behind this. All right, mahalo and aloha.